Hey guys, welcome back to the Plant-Based Chow. I'm Holly, and today, as you see, we're not in the kitchen, so we are not going to be making a recipe today. What I wanted to do today is kind of elaborate more on the very first video that I made, which was transitioning vegan foods. And I went through a lot of the vegan options and foods and everything that we have nowadays, like butter and fake meats and mayo and all that sort of thing. But today I wanted to focus on transitioning in another aspect. And I wanted to give you 2 tips to help you out that I know helped me during my transition. Those 2 tips are, well, first I'll take you through the first one. Number 1 is educate yourself, okay? You have to educate yourself. It's probably the biggest thing that you can do is to educate yourself in knowing and understanding why you are doing what you're doing. Okay, if you're like me, I had the stomach issues, which you've heard me refer to in the past in my videos, but sometimes that wasn't enough for me to just walk away. Sometimes I was still silly and I ate what I wanted to eat and I just dealt with the pain later. Of course, you know, it eventually got too bad to where I couldn't do that anymore. But the more and more I would educate myself on what those things were doing to my body, the more my eyes were kind of opened. And actually, to be honest, the more I learned and understood, the less that desire was even there to have those things. So that was like a big deal for me. So the first thing I want you to do is to educate yourself, and I want you to watch documentaries, you know, things like Cowspiracy or Earthlings or Forks Over Knives. Those are all really good documentaries. Earthlings is more for the animal rights part of everything, and Forks Over Knives and Cowspiracy. Forks Over Knives more nutritional, and Cowspiracy is more environmental, nutritional, animal rights, all of that. So educate yourself by watching documentaries. Follow other people on YouTube. There are a few really well-known YouTubers out there that are vegans that help spread really good educational things. And then third, which is probably the biggest thing that's helped me the most, is read. Open a book and read. And I'm going to show you some of the books that I use or used and read. This first one is called How Not to Die by Dr. Michael Greger. I took the cover off of this, so it actually does have a cover, but I took it off. I didn't want it to get ruined. The first part of this book is basically him going through the top like 10 or 12 diseases that Americans die from today. He goes through those diseases and tells you, you know, what you can do to either A, prevent them, B, reverse them, or stop them from continuing, or, you know, all of that sort of thing. And then the second part of the book is he goes through what he calls his daily dozen, which is basically his top 12 foods that he believes that we need for our bodies to be healthy. But don't worry, it's nothing crazy or insane or out of control. Very, very simple, and that's one of the things that I really liked and enjoyed about this book. So for this book, I actually didn't read like the whole first part of the book. I was more interested in the nutritional part of it when I started this book. So I read the opening to the first part and then skipped right to the second part of the book and read all the nutrition stuff. And then I just kind of flipped through the first part just on the topics that I wanted to know about, like the diabetes and cancer and things like that, because that's kind of what's in my family. Second book that I'm going to recommend is called Becoming Vegan. This one here, I actually have not read the whole thing yet. I'm only about 4 chapters in. I ordered a bunch of books at one time and started trying to read them all at once, and of course it didn't work, so I had to stop reading this one, but I will be coming back to it. It's the comprehensive edition, so again, it breaks everything down. There's a lot of information. I'm one of those people who, when I read, I have to, especially something like this that breaks it down so much and is so much like information overload, I have to read little bits and pieces and let that process and then come back for more. So that's definitely one of these books, the comprehensive edition. But so far, like I said, only 4 chapters in. A wonderful, wonderful book. It shows some different studies and breaks it all down. And then lastly, the one I have to show you, which is probably my most favorite one so far, and I highly recommend it. I suggest that you start with this one, and it's called The China Study. This is actually a really well-known one. It's by Dr. T. Colin Campbell and his son, Thomas Campbell. Wonderful book. This guy studied this for 27 years, I believe it was. He done a lot of studies of his own and is showing his results from that, and his it's amazing. There's like nothing, I can't say enough about this book. There's so much in here probably that I'd have to do a whole video just on itself at some point. But this is very, very highly recommended. He actually, if you end up really liking this, he actually has a program through Cornell University. They teamed up in Whole Food Plant-Based Diet Certificate, which I'm almost done with. I only got about 2 more weeks left. Again, very informational, awesome information. Really eye-opening, mind-blowing information there. So there's also 2 other books I don't have here with me that I've also read. One is called Super Life by Darren O'Leen. And again, his book is just kind of breaking down, I don't know, I think it's like 5. It's the 5 things that you can do just to kind of make your body a lot healthier. And again, really simple things, nothing like way out there or anything like that. So that was a really good one as well. And then another one, if you are first starting out, it's called The Happy Vegan by Russell Simmons. A very easy read. I think I read it in like 3 or 4 days. It was really awesome. I pretty much at that point in my journey, I knew almost everything that he was talking about in that book. But I went ahead and read it anyway. But it definitely is for those who are beginning in their journey for sure. So that is my number 1 tip, is to educate yourself. So please, please, please take the time, review some of the books, look them up on Amazon. That's another thing I wanted to say. All these books, because I have a lot more I'm going to be showing you here in just a few minutes. Don't feel frustrated like I have to spend all this money on these books. You don't. First of all, you can always get them used on Amazon, like almost half the price or even cheaper than that. But educate yourself, please. Get the documentary, or look at the documentaries, read the books, listen to people. That's going to be your first step. And then number 2 is learn how to cook, or be ready to cook more at home. I know that when we first started out, I've always been a person that cooks, but for whatever reason, a few years before actually becoming vegan, I just kind of didn't really cook that much at home. I didn't really enjoy it anymore. And so we ate out a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean we were spending like probably $1,000 a month. I think that we added up at some point on just eating out, fast food, restaurants, things like that. Insane. So people think that it's expensive to eat a whole food plant-based diet. We have saved so much money. I'm not even joking. So I cook at home a lot. And don't be afraid that your kitchen's dirty. It's a kitchen. Use it. It's supposed to be dirty, okay? Okay, moms? It's okay. Your kitchen can be dirty. Just breathe, okay? It can be dirty. Mine is hardly ever clean anymore. But, so moving on, start to cook. Number 1, I started on the internet. Anything that you want to make, you can find a version of it online that's vegan, guaranteed. I don't think that I haven't found a recipe yet that I wanted and couldn't turn it vegan. But one other thing that we did do is I invested in cookbooks because it was just easier sometimes to just have the cookbooks. So I just really quick want to run through these cookbooks that I have and to show you what we have so far. So this one right here, I actually found at Barnes & Noble on the $5 table, so just $5. And this is actually called Raw Food. And obviously I don't eat a raw food diet, but I got it because it was $5. And as I was flipping through, you know, it's healthy. It's all vegan, obviously, and it's whole foods, and it was just something to kind of mix things up a little bit. So go to Barnes & Noble or your local bookstores or whatever and find what's on sale, what's on clearance, or what are they just trying to get rid of. You'll be surprised in what you can find. Secondly, this is a book that a friend gave me long before I even wanted to become vegan, but it's called Hallelujah Kids. I don't use this one a ton. I have found some really good salad dressings in here and some smoothie recipes, but I just haven't really, it got lost for quite some time, and I just found it probably a few months back, so I just haven't really gotten a lot of recipes out of there, but I need to. This one I actually just got probably last week, and I'm really excited because I've been flipping through it and everything looks so good and sounds so delicious. I told you about the documentary Forks Over Knives, and they have a cookbook. They actually are coming out, I think, next week with Forks Over Knives family cookbook, so it's more of a family friendly cookbook. This one is whole food, plant-based as well. It is also no oils as well. I think there might be, since I just got it, I don't know, there might be a few in here that might have some oils or whatever. I don't know, but from what I've seen and what I read in the front, it does not use oils. So this is a really good one too. I cannot wait to start using this one. This one I have not even actually used or haven't even cooked not one recipe out of yet. I just got this one as well, used on Amazon. It's called The Happy Pair. These two gentlemen here, they're twins. They have a YouTube channel as well called The Happy Pair, and they are hilarious and fun and energetic and everything. So you might want to check them out as well. The Happy Pair, they are very educational, and their recipes always look so good, and that's why I got their cookbook, and so I gotta try it. Also, so I talked to you guys about the China Study, and now they have the China Study cookbook as well. So you can kind of like maybe buy these in a pair on Amazon or something. I don't know. This one I've probably cooked about 4 or 5 recipes out of so far, maybe a little less. I actually had to get a second book because I loaned this one out to my mom, and then she never gave it back. And so, no, she didn't give, it's not that she didn't give it back, I gave it to her. And so I just got myself another one. And again, oil-free, all oil-free, whole food, plant-based, and again, everything that we've made out of here so far is really, really good. And a couple more and we'll be all done. This one is called The Plant Power Way. This one is by Rich Roll and Julie Pyatt. Rich Roll is a vegan athlete. If you have not heard of him, he's got a podcast, and you can get it on iTunes, and it's always really good, always fun, always informational. It's not always on veganism. He talks and interviews many different people, and it's just so eye-opening and fun and educational to listen to his podcast. But their recipes are really good as well. And then this one is probably one of my favorites. It's called Thug Kitchen. And this one right here, my husband got me for Christmas, and I love it. And it's not kid-friendly, so if you have a little one that knows how to read or is just learning how to read or whatever, not kid-friendly. The F-bomb is dropped quite a few times in here, as well as some other ones. But it's hilarious, first of all. And secondly, the recipes are fantastic. I don't think we've had one out of here yet that we don't like. So, Bug Kitchen. And then lastly, I have the Oh She Glows cookbook. This one is a really good one as well. I believe I found Angela first on the internet when I was looking up recipes. So again, you can find recipes online. You don't need to have all these cookbooks. I've just collected all of these ones over this past year. I get most of them used on Amazon. Whatever is not used, it's mostly because people have gotten them for me for gifts. So get used on Amazon. Google. There's Oh She Glows is one. The Minimalist Baker is another one. And Vegan Family Recipes. Those are three blogs and recipes that I would follow before I got all my cookbooks and stuff like that. That I would actually, the Vegan Family Recipes, I think I had almost made every single recipe she had on there. They were always so good and so easy. So anyway, those are my tips, you guys. Educate yourself and then get in the kitchen and start cooking. And you learn how to cook. Teach your kids how to cook. Make your husband get in there every once in a while and do it. You know, it's gonna save you a ton of money for one, and then it's also gonna save your health. So anyway, I hope this was beneficial to you guys. Those are my top 2 tips. And tell me what you think. If you have any other resources that's helped you, let us know. Put it in the comments so that you know, we can pass it on and help other people as well. And other than that, if you have any more questions, make sure you put them below, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share with your friends if you think it might help them. And then hopefully I will see you guys next week with a vegan macaroni and cheese recipe that I'm trying to make a little bit more healthier. I just got to figure out what I'm going to substitute a couple of ingredients for to make it a little bit healthier for us. So anyway, I will see you guys next week.